Hello.
Well, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Let me just put the volume up. I'm doing very well,
How was your,
although
yeah, go for it.
it's, it's 51 degrees and been raining for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay. No, I haven't been following any of it. Wow. Okay.
I
Um,
mean, it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny on Tuesday
okay.
afternoon.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
we're all going back to work.
Right.
But that's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all right. I mean, I wasn't planning on going to the beach or skydiving or anything
Right.
today. So
Yeah.
my plans were not upset. And it was, yeah. How about you? What's going on in
Um, I
Seattle?
I had a good week. I've had a good busy weekend so far already. When I've been to protests, I've been to shows, all that good
Oh,
stuff.
good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I wanted so you know. Sometimes I upload this show, sometimes I don't. More recently, I've been live streaming it. We did an episode, and so and normally it gets somewhere between. I mean, we do this week after week, no matter what, and then sometimes yes, and normally it gets, I don't know, 6 views, 17 views. We talked about the Palantir jacket. I mean, we talked about a lot. We talk about a lot of things, so I can never know
Yes,
exactly
yes,
what
yes,
topic resonates.
yes.
But that particular episode got 125 views, which is, I mean, it's in the world that's not a lot, but for my channel, that's I I don't know,
I
and
think that's I think that's terrific.
but no, I'm just
But I
curious. And I know I don't know if it was that topic. I don't know if it was something, I don't know, controversial. One of us, I don't, I don't know. Um,
was it well, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it either from the point of view of Palantir or jacket, or
right? No, right?
so
Yeah, yeah,
so.
yeah,
Is it fashion or is it fascism? Is it
yeah.
fascism?
That sounds like a
Fascist fashions,
yes. No, yeah, 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 yeah. Fascist
of which
fashion.
of which I think actually, I mean that the guy, what was his name, Bogano or somebody
Yes, yeah, yeah. The
who
FBI
was
guy. Yeah.
the FBI. He definitely channeled Gestapo
Oh,
coats,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
coat
No,
lengths,
yeah,
lapels, and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't believe for a second he was not well aware
Of course, no.
of
Well, but I mean,
that.
again, that's what they do. Is that, well, they used to do. They still do it a lot. The dog whistle, where it's you can't prove it. We all know it. Wink, wink. And yeah, it's exhausting. But yeah, he that well.
What's the dog whistle with Melania's hat
Oh,
with the low brim?
oh, I don't know. No, I I
Well,
have
I'll
no.
have to
Yeah,
think about that.
yeah, 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 yeah. What else? What's going on with what's important? What have you noticed? What have you heard? What do you care about? Are we
Well,
not taking? Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, are we not taking Ebola seriously? Hantavirus? We haven't talked about either of those at all. Are you, I mean, Ebola, I guess, has been declared a pandemic. So but it doesn't, this is, I don't know.
I um I think I take it seriously when ShopRite closes. Um,
Yes, no, but yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
I'm
the wall.
serious. In other words, I think that well, no, to be less lighthearted about it, it is not a stretch to assume that um, the cutting off of U.S. aid
No, I know. Yes, yes,
had a
absolutely.
probably had an effect
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on on Ebola, and I think that we could look to the White House for some responsibility there. The other one, I was curious that it seemed to me that European countries took the quarantining of passengers more seriously than the United States.
Right.
that people who, even if they weren't showing symptoms, who
Right.
had come off that boat
Yes.
were A, asked to stay home, and B, I think being monitored or treated.
Yes.
Whereas I believe, and I may be wrong, I believe that American passengers who weren't showing symptoms were just kind of sent home.
Right.
I
No.
could be
Right.
wrong
Yeah.
about that, but
No,
I
I don't
don't
know,
know.
but I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, here again, how things are covered in this country. I read. Well, I didn't read the interview. I read the headline and just had no interest in the interview with a passenger who actually had hantavirus, who was quarantined, and the headline was basically how they described the quarantine as like a prison. And I'm like, okay, but it's quarantine for a reason. But the whole framing was sort of suspicious of yeah, any sort of, again, mitigation or response. If there is a real pandemic, especially with these people in charge, but also next 5 years, 10 years, I am very worried that you guys were wrong the last time. It wasn't nearly as dangerous as you said it was, which it really was. I mean, COVID killed 1 million people. COVID still kills people. COVID is still dangerous and deadly, and the vaccine mitigated that to a significant amount, that people who didn't get vaccinated can walk around. Yes, the herd immunity that you swore up and down did eventually happen, but the vaccine, I mean, but again, the next time they're going to scream up and down loudest first to prevent any kind of, including people making their own, because I don't see anyone masking up. That's completely voluntary. I don't like, I mean, on public transportation, I'm not yet also though. I mean, I don't know what it, like, again, that's why I'm asking, are we not taking this seriously enough? But also, I mean, all of us, not just the government. But yeah, no, I think just the way we're framing it already in this country is wrong and dangerous. And
Well, I think that there's a kind of an inherent contradiction here. Two things are happening at once. Because of COVID, we're probably, or some of us are probably far too quick off the blocks to be kind of afraid of this
sure,
virus
sure, sure,
on the
sure,
one hand,
sure,
and on the other hand, there will be more if in fact there is an epidemic, it will be much harder. Well, it will depend on who the authorities are. In other
yes,
words, if it's RFK, then just billions of us will die because he's hopeless. But if it happens with another administration, there will still be lots and lots of people who claim that it was mishandled the last time and they
right,
don't have to do anything,
right,
or they have the right to not do anything and
right,
infect everybody else.
right,
Because yeah, I mean, we're a contrarian. I mean,
sure,
compared to many European countries where they are relatively compliant when there was some government, you know, thing like that. This country, we're less and less compliant. I mean, or we're
right. But also, I mean, and again, compliance, because I'm not a very compliant person. I'm a pretty anti-authoritarian, pretty contrarian just by
yeah.
nature kind of a person. And yet, yeah, following protocols, especially, yeah, no,
I
comes,
mean, on an issue which is not should not be a political issue, but
yeah,
basically
but
a
okay,
science slash health issue.
but you have to remember that they politicized long before masks. It wasn't even how dare you make me wear a mask. It was how dare you wear a mask. But long even before that, remember in Europe they were banging the pots, and in New York, remember it was like for the emergency workers, and they were already, again, any sense of again, they're the ones who are saying that we're dividing the country, but any sense of unity, any sense of community, any sense of organic doesn't come from the top down. We'll tell you how to be patriotic. doesn't count. Or yeah, no, I mean, again, there, yeah, and again, anti-science. I mean, you mentioned RFK. I am in awe of the fact that apparently 41% of Americans now, quote unquote, agree with Maha, and I hope when they
What?
say, well, that is the statistic I heard. But again, I hope do they I don't believe they understand. I think they just think it means, let's remove the synthetic dyes from food. Let's forgetting the fact that right wingers, Reagan, the FDA was gutted. The reason we have all these additives they don't have in Europe is because the right wingers gutted all the regulatory bodies. But let's forget that. Now they're noticing our food supply is unhealthy and they want to be the champions of it. Fine, but and that's evidence based. But taking fluoride out of our water supply isn't evidence based. The anti-vaccine that has resulted in measles. Again, I work in early learning with. Now we have children who are unvaccinated. It actually affects all of that. It's MAGA. It's not just, but I think they hear it's something healthy eating. I literally saw a comment that said, oh, well, I looked at RFK's new food chart and it looks okay, so I guess it's, and then someone else pointed out, well, yes, even a broken clock is right 2 times a year, and actually his food chart is not right, but the point being,
the fluoride issue,
yes,
was settled before you were born, and there were in the 60s there were a substantial number of anti-science people who were claiming that fluoride killed you or whatever, and that I thought was put to rest, right?
Right, and that's what you're co-signing when you say I agree with Maha. It is the anti-fluoride is actually the same brain control. Remember, the Bill Gates is controlling our minds through the nanotechnology in the vaccine. It's the same conspiracy theories. They said fluoride was mind control. That's what they were saying in the 70s and 80s. Then they stopped saying that, and now they just say, because they found one study that linked it to something, especially if it's at extremely high doses. That being said, again, broken clock can be right 2 times a day. Should we look at municipal water supplies? Are there some locations where the fluoride levels are 2 or 3 times normal? And should we do something about that? Can it be 2 things are right? Yes, but that doesn't make him right. That doesn't make their movement right. That doesn't make, just because they latch themselves onto an evidence-based thing here or there and they twist it into their whole thing. But it's, that whole thing just alarms me.
Also, the vaccination autism argument was based on a long since completely debunked semi or fake study by one doctor, which got into one medical journal.
Who's long since been discredited. It wasn't peer reviewed. It wasn't, it was a very, and he made it his whole career like RFK. And I can speak knowledgeably about this because I wasn't an anti-vaxxer. I've never been an anti-vaxxer, but I'm just asking questions because of what the internet led me to believe. The one thing that he was very good at, and remember, I don't remember if Google actually existed, but this was when you had other internet searches like AOL Online and Angel Fire. Like, the internet wasn't even the whole complete internet the way we know it now. But he was very good at early on making sure that if you looked up autism or vaccines, his studies got to the top. This is what we now call search engine optimization. There are people whose whole job is to make sure when your content rises to the top.
These Epstein people have spent millions of dollars with companies that have tried to do that. To
scrub this
search engine to put it at the bottom,
but so that's what he was good at, and so it was when you looked up studies, finding the real peer-reviewed, it looked like his was the most credible. Again, with my limited understanding of how internet searches work, because it was the top result, but that I didn't understand yet how it could be manipulated. No one did. and they took advantage of that. But that was just, that's what his shtick was. But he ran with it and continues to run with it. He still, to a certain crowd, if you search things a certain way, his content comes up. And the fact, and it won't let you know, like you said, it's buried way, way, way down that they took away his medical license, that he is no, all of that. But he still has a following. That he still has a following. And RFK Jr. and
well, so does Alex Jones have a following, right? I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel for the Sandy Hook parents. They won that historic amount, from him. All they wanted to do was silence him, and yet the only way they can actually ever recoup any losses is for him to keep doing his show. That's the only way he can. That is how he makes money. That is what a court has ruled is his. I mean,
so
I
he
think
has to pay for his lies. He has to keep lying.
he has to keep lying. Yeah, I mean it, and he's allowed to. And I mean that's the sort of galling part. But again, free speech. If someone watches that, knowing everything they know about him, that is a choice they make too. He has an audience. I mean, again, Alex Jones is scary, but Alex Jones's audience has always been scarier to me. I don't like, yeah. And I see them. I see like an InfoWars sticker on a car, and
Oh, really? Oh,
not all the time, but yeah. I mean,
I've never seen one.
Good. Yeah. No. Good. What else?
Well, there's a subject I want to discuss, and I don't know how to broach it. I would say that I have, and this is a personal quirk. I have never been comfortable with the American television late night talk show format, and
Right.
and I don't know why, but I remember the little television that I remember from before I left Britain. There would be panel discussions where
Yes.
you would have, and I think my dad, your granddad, was even on one about
Yes.
sports, where you have 4 people in chairs facing the camera and talking, right?
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yes.
The first time I saw, and I don't know if it would have been Johnny Carson or who would I have first seen in the mid 60s. Anyway, I found it very strange to be
Yes.
late at night watching a man sitting behind a desk. Yeah, facing a camera, and then having people walk in
Yes.
and sit next to him,
Yes.
or having his sidekick there,
Yes.
Ed McMahon.
Yes.
It seemed, I don't know, it seemed like awkward, like really awkward.
Oh no! Yeah, no, it is. No, okay. So many. Yes.
So let
yes.
me just let me just
Yeah.
finish,
No. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So, but I did watch, because I remember Johnny Carson. I remember his Carmack. He did these.
Yeah.
things. I wasn't really a fan. I think one of the reasons is because there was no alternative. I mean,
right.
You either went to the movies or you watched TV.
No. Yes.
So I watched, but I watched Laughing, which I really thought was very funny. I watched that enthusiastically. I don't think I watched. I didn't watch Johnny Carson enthusiastically,
right.
And then the subsequent people who, like the guy with the big chin, Jay Leno, and these other people, I'm fully aware of their popularity.
Yes.
I didn't care much for them in terms of,
right.
I don't know how they carried them, how they did what they did.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
In other words, sure.
And I mean, I only was interested actually in the ones who were actually performing it rather than actually being it. And I think Stephen Colbert one time was
yes.
he had a persona like Borat, or so, in other
Yeah,
words,
yes, yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
that interested me
yes,
more
yes,
than the standard. Jimmy
yes,
Fallon,
yes,
Jimmy Kimmel,
yes.
Stephen Colbert. Um, there was a British guy, Trevor. I
Oh,
thought
yeah, yes.
I can't remember his name.
Well, no,
I thought
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. He was kind of interesting to me. But anyway, it seems to me that okay, I'll get to the point. I thought
Go for it.
as a 20-year-old
Yes,
that looked old mannish, old
yes.
fashioned.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was
Yes,
20 and I
yes,
thought this looks old.
yes,
Now I'm 81, okay?
yes,
And you've still got these five white guys in
yes,
suits sitting
yes,
behind desks
yes,
making these jokes with people who are they're in
yes,
jokes, they're in
yes.
people. They've got a vastly reduced audience, right?
Sure.
Don't they? They have a
Yeah.
yet
Yes.
yet the media, and presumably the media is of white guys who are fascinated by this,
Yes.
who follow this and write about. I mean, what's the big deal here? I mean,
Right.
I know that the political, I know that we're talking about free speech and Trump and Amazon and all of
Sure.
that,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it seems to me that this is a really shitty, old fashioned stuff, and
Yeah.
and we've got in the world of even in the crass world of infotainment and everything else, don't we have a better way of serving people with celebrities and data? I mean, isn't there a more hip way?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
No.
don't want to use
Okay.
an
Yeah.
old-fashioned word like hip, but
No.
it
But
seems.
yeah. No. Yeah.
Am I getting a point here?
Everything. No, no. You touched upon all of it for me, and I don't even. Yeah, no, I'm not even sure where to begin. Okay, well, let's start with. Let's go. Let's work backwards. Yes, their relevance in terms of their actual audience share is relatively limited, but the influence because of the art, like a celebrity says something in an interview, and then a celebrity magazine writes an article about it. They make a joke about Trump in their monologue, and it gets so the clips on get edited down on TikTok and social media, and those do get engagement. So I don't know if it's completely irrelevant. That
No,
being
you
said,
see, that's the point. I watched those clips, right?
yes, yes,
But
yes.
they should have a better origin.
Well, no, okay.
In other words, yeah, that's the takeaway. There are takeaways that are
Yeah,
served on a broader basis.
right. But okay, but we need okay. The other cultural institution that gets excised the same way, where they take the clips out, and I will watch the clip, but I will no longer watch the original thing, is Saturday Night Live, and it's the same actual stilted format where you've got a monologue and then skits.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
musical guests, first of all, it's a variety show. It's vaudeville, and that's what feels old-fashioned about it. Let's start there. That's what feels old-fashioned about it, is that it is that is a format that is, well, one, outdated, two, I do think has a place. It's not for everyone. I don't know. Okay, here's my whole thing. Specifically you, with you being like, I was 20 and now I'm 81. I can remember, yeah, Johnny Carson was absolutely all the guests were people from the 70s who were, there was like Gina, Lola, Brigida. We didn't know who any of them were, so kids were not interested. We weren't interested in that at all. It was sort of this rite of passage to get to stay up late to watch Carson, only to be disappointed that this is what it was. This is,
Okay, all right.
David Letterman was the first one where people my own age, and this would have been middle school going into high school, so young teenager, were interested. He did have younger guests, he did have younger musical guests, and he himself just had an edgier format. That being said, like you, I was just off put by the whole, it never interested me. Oh, and then the part about, it's weird to me that it was the only option, that all the channels had their own version of that, that it was just presumed it has reached this point in the night, you must want to watch this type of programming, that no one in any of the major networks in the 20 years I grew up and had, network TV in my home, thought to run anything counter to that. They only all ran their own version of that, and that was always interesting to me. And the why, and then the coming and going of all the different hosts. You mentioned a Brit, so I think you said Trevor Noah was South African. I don't know if you were thinking of him, but
yes, I was thinking of Trevor Noah.
I love him. James Corden, British. I don't love him.
I can't stand James.
I can't stand. No. Yeah, I'm glad we agreement on that.
No, he's awful. He makes me cringe. Anyway. But he's so slimy.
But he's very left wing, so we're supposed to love him or something. But again, no, I don't. Yeah, he's very cringe, and he's
creepy.
And and that's the other piece. Even once people my own age, and I understood. Oh, okay, these are guests or referencing things that I'm actually interested in. David Letterman, or as I got older, it became more relevant to me, or I just acclimated to the format because I'm home at that time and it is what's on. And so I got used to it. But it was never lost on me that this is the other piece, other than, again, it feels old fashioned because it comes from a variety show, like a very old fashioned style variety show, but also it is all marketing. It is a 90-minute ad. Even every person coming on.
Yeah, they're selling their movie.
And
they're selling, yeah.
And sometimes to the point where they have something very interesting going on in their personal life, but they say, "Oh no, I'm here to talk about this movie that no one's seen." And it's very, that's how. So that all of it is, again, with this week, with all these think pieces about how essential late night is to the fabric of America. I agree with you. I'm questioning whether we need them at all. And also, back to the Paramount and the Skydance, I do think a corporate them in collusion with the government, what type of programming we get, and it is, it is. I don't like that.
What I'm hoping is that there is cooking somewhere a sufficiently well-funded alternative that is not part of Amazon or Paramount or whatever it is. That will begin like the beginning of MTV or whatever.
Right.
That creates some new box. I mean, some new.
Yes.
I don't know. Another way of I agree with you that I'd be more interested in old vaudeville than no, but in a way you could say that, I don't know if this is, I just thought of this, that that shows like America's Got Talent, all of those shows.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, vaudeville, also in a way, vaudeville.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yes.
In a way, they're taking that kind of.
I hadn't thought of that, but that absolutely, in fact, you
have lots of people doing different acts, right?
No, and they've taken the hook, and they've turned it into like a buzzer and a chair spin and a flashing light. Like they know, you're right. I hadn't thought of that.
It's not that different, is it? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So anyway, and I thought what really, I don't know, for some reason annoyed me was when all these people got together to support Stephen Colbert's Last Night, as if it was the turn of the millennium, as if it was like, or a mass funeral. I don't know. I just thought, what is so important? Why the self-importance of this?
No, okay. Well, no, yes, I think there's definitely. I think. When they all got together, there is definitely an element of self-importance, And again, as you pointed out, bunch of white guys. I mean, there's been one woman, Joan Rivers, and she lasted less than a year. There's been one black woman. She also lasted less than 2 years.
Who is
In
that?
I can't remember her name. Yeah,
Okay.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. And again, because it is such a prescribed, it's not allowed to. It's only been like I said, David Letterman made it a little bit edgier. Like you pointed out, Stephen Colbert brought his sort of Daily Show inversion of that sarcastic twist on it,
Right.
but that still only allowed it to expand so much within the topic, making kind of stale jokes about the topic of the day and the I do. Again, when they're espousing about how it's woven into the fabric of society, I'm like, I don't know. And again, this is the Ed Sullivan Theater that has been occupied for 60 years. This is
If
the
you go
legacy.
to if you go to these shows, you if you go to if you're in the audience, right,
Yes.
you're you're subjected to pre-show comedians who are not in the show, but they're people who
Yes.
get the
Yeah.
whole
Yes.
audience.
Yes. Yeah. The hype
The
people. Yes.
audience is really. I've done it. I can't remember, but
Yes.
I do remember once, long time ago. They get you all jazzed up,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And it's applause. In other words,
Yes.
it's not actually a real response from the audience, or at least
Sure.
they've
Yes.
got everybody's adrenaline,
Yes.
and they're excited to be in the presence of
Yes.
yeah.
I you
Anyway,
know, and I mean, and they have an applause sign, and some of us laugh very easily. I laugh on a beat, whether it's actually funny or not, just because I kind of go with those comedic lines. But wait, something you said though, Steve. Oh, uh, did you know that? So, after his final show, Stephen Colbert went to public access in Michigan. So, before his first show, he had done a show on public access in Michigan, and he had Eminem as his guest, who's very famously from
okay.
Detroit. So, he went back to this same show in Michigan and it made a joke about, well, I'm here until Paramount buys it out. And, but no,
Well, I don't know. Maybe that was a clever,
that was funny.
interesting
No,
thing
I
to
thought that was
do.
funny and clever. I like Stephen Colbert. I wish him the best. Apparently, him and his son are co-writing the next Lord of the Rings movie. That's his next step.
Well, fine. No, I mean, I don't wish any of them ill, except that guy we mentioned. Um,
Yes.
uh,
But no, okay, back to again self-importance, but also this is the end of a, like I said, David. They didn't just cancel Stephen Colbert. They canceled the show. They could have gotten a different host. They could have gotten a right-wing host. They could have pulled a Barry Weiss and brought in, but they canceled. It is the ending of a format, which again. We've been discussing for 20 minutes. Does it even need to exist anymore? But the Byron Allen show that there, and I have nothing against Byron Allen, but it's a very different format. It's not a talk show. They have effectively ended talk shows on CBS, which again, back to what I was saying, okay, it's a different option. I guess now we'll see if Jimmy Fallon or his audience
well,
grows or yeah.
yeah, talk show. It's talk shows light. I mean, you could say that um, uh, 60 Minutes is a talk show. I mean, you
Well,
could say
yes. Well, yes. Yeah. Yes.
that whatever it is that they do on Saturdays when the government people try to
Meet the
justify their
press and all
job.
that. Yeah.
Meet the press. These are talk show. We need
Yes.
actually more of that. The talk
Sure.
shows that I'm fascinated by
Sure.
have been the congressional hearings
Yes. Yeah.
where people like Pete Hegseth have had to talk to
Yes.
members of Congress, Republican as well as Democrats, and justify their. Oh, did you see now? that there is I think it's a congressman or a senator who has accused him seriously of war crimes on it and in a criminal indictment
Yes.
for the whatever for shooting um, people who've surrendered on boats. In other
Oh,
words,
yes. Yeah. No, I mean,
that
that's,
is
yeah,
clearly has always been a war crime and is
they admitted
punishable
to
by
it.
death to
They
do
admitted
that.
to it. They bragged about it. I mean, if we don't have
It's called
accountability in
second dipping,
America,
or says it's called
yeah,
second dipping or something.
yeah, no, I mean they bragged about it and released footage of people in wreckage waving them
Yes.
down and being bombed. They, I mean, again, if we don't have accountability, if there's an, I think
Well,
that was
we hung German officers
yes.
for doing that.
Well, yes, like I said, I think, and I want to say that was Dick Durbin, but I'm not sure. Yeah, no, if there is no accountability in the United States, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of faith there's still the Hague. I mean, I do. I mean, these are war crimes, like you said. These are war crimes, and I do think one of these days. I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh well, no congressional hearings though. That's the other thing. Like late night talk shows. I don't have the energy to sit through. I can't sit through Pete Hegseth and his facial expressions and his indignance. But the people who can sit through hours and hours of that and cut down the 30 seconds of someone really especially some of those senators who really bring facts, who bring the receipts. You know what I mean? Like they. On this date you said this, on this date, no, I really appreciate that all of that goes viral on social media, because that's, again, C-SPAN has existed my entire lifetime, but who sits and watches hours and hours of that? Who has the time for that? And but someone's doing God's work because they're editing it down, and that is important, because it does feel like our government is ineffective right now. They may not have voting power, but there are senators and representatives who are really using their seats of power to put people in the hot seat and to ask the hard questions. And whether that results in accountability or not, I think it's still important. That's still, whether they answer the questions or not, it's still important to ask the questions.
So, the other format that I wonder, well, I don't think it's changeable, but
Yes.
is the presidential debate format.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it seems to me that it doesn't matter whether there are 10 people or 2, they use the same kind of format. And I don't think that it's a way for the American public to interview for the job.
Yeah.
And I was reading, I don't know if it was another country, but another, a very small adjustment to the system would be to give each person the same amount of time in total. So if they've talked too much or talked over somebody, they get cut off, even if there's 5 or 10 minutes left. In other words, I mean, there are ways to do it that I think it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove anything.
No. Yeah. Okay. A couple things. One, 8, 9, 10, 11 people on a stage, that's just nonsense. They need to figure out a different way to do that. That doesn't hold multiple rounds. I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, the telling the audience not to respond, but that the audience does anyway, telling people not to interrupt, but then they do anyway. People, I think the decorum that we used to expect is gone, but that part, no. Does the existence of debates do a disservice? Can you decide something that important in 90 minutes? I mean, is it, or should debates not exist because people should watch more in-depth interviews with these people should have to do more research than that. The debate gives you a false sense of, okay, I know these people, but you don't.
Yes, I think you're right. I think there are probably a lot of voters who say, "Well, I'll wait and see what they look like, and see how they do in the debates." And if you are interviewing someone for a CEO job, I mean, you would basically in the real job world, people have a job record, right?
Right. Yes.
To discuss or defend.
Yes.
Well, many of these people don't have a job record, or they
right.
don't.
Right.
That's not.
Yeah. No. Not.
That's not what they think they're bringing.
Right.
I mean,
right,
Trump
right.
had a terrible record as a businessman, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
he just lied. But he
Yes.
lied. So it's like he lied at his interview for his job, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
people
like
do.
He lied to the people who bought the Trump phones that are now finding out they're not America first, made in America. They're made in China.
No, they're designed in America. They're designed in America. There's a difference. They're designed.
They're no. Actually, I hate to quibble. It doesn't even say designed in America. It says designed for the American spirit, which is the most equivocating language I can even imagine. Like, what does that even?
Designed.
Yeah.
Designed by the Chinese government for the American spirit.
But no,
well, that's fine. We gave them McDonald's. That's all right. So, yeah.
And then someone's suing because he wants the rendering of the lie. Well, first of all, the Miami University and DeSantis basically just gave them prime oceanfront real estate, like 10 mil, 6, I don't know, however much it's worth, real estate to build his library. And then the rendering of it, the logo, and this is specifically what they're suing about, someone has sued him, is the same as the logo on the hotels. And so they're saying, you have made the choice to not separate this from your private business. You could have put anything. We understand Trump is your name, but you chose to put the corporate logo on what you are claiming is a public benefit, presidential library, quote unquote. But you also want to put a hotel in it. This is
he's already paid for the logo. Like he wanted to use his guys to do the pond and the floating, whatever it was. He got his guys from his golf company. They'll do it for $1 million, which became 13.
Of course.
It turns out that previous administrations have held off doing it because it will cost $100 million, right?
Yeah.
But he'll get his guys to, paint it and.
No, and I did no, and then the piece that came from whatever the Washington Historical Society who sued over that one that jumped out at me was that the gray granite bottom of the reflecting pool was designed to be dark to create a sense of depth, to enhance the sense of reflection. It is not ancillary to the design. It is immutable from the intentional design. And so I really I didn't understand. I mean, he called it American flag blue, but people are saying it's swimming pool blue. I didn't realize that's what
it's swimming pool.
Again, I refuse to be mad about these things. It's of all the things. I mean, there are people dying, there are children dying, but he got his arch. The people he installed approved his arch. Of course they did. But they did. At the very least, they removed the lions because lions aren't native to America. So they at least. But he got his.
Yes, but lions are not native to London, but they're
I know he's going to be very mad.
No, but America never colonized a country that had lions, unlike
Yeah,
the
yeah.
British who did have
Who
have a lot
had
of
lions in there
lions.
because all the
Yeah, yeah,
lions are the
yeah,
king's
yeah,
lions,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think that arch is going to get built.
Well, no, again, I hope they build as much as they can build, and then that's it. And either it will be a very short arch that's wide, a very wide, large base short arch, or it won't get
Yeah.
built, or it will be left unfinished, and that will be the monument to his unfinished legacy. Let them pile up all that gold leaf. Yeah.
Okay. On the bright side, okay. Well, actually, no. To continue,
Yeah.
um, pet peeve.
Sure.
Um, so FIFA, which it seems to me is a deeply corrupt
Absolutely.
organization,
Absolutely. Yes.
on a
Yes.
global scale.
Yes.
Um, they have painted over an artist's mural in Dallas,
Oh.
without apparently discussing it with the artist who did
Oh,
it,
wow.
commissioned and did it. I don't think was paid. Did it, for free of Wales.
Yes.
A perfectly okay mural, which was part of their, beautification, and it was painted over without permission of the local, city council
Huh.
in order to put some FIFA material there.
So they didn't replace it with art. They replaced it with something
No,
branded.
no.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Yeah.
it's now just blank. Okay. The Meadowlands, whatever the stadium is here,
Yeah.
has to change its name to FIFA something
Okay.
yes. And this apparently happens everywhere around the world, which
Sure.
stadiums
Yeah. No.
are not
Yeah.
allowed to use their
Yes.
own names.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, the cost of tickets is
Yes.
absolutely prohibitive.
Yes. Yeah.
And what has this got to do with sport? I mean, what?
Right. Okay. We are a host city, so I am specifically fuming about this because it's going to invade. It already has and will be invading my city for the next month. One, FIFA is absolutely a corrupt organization. They enrich them. They exist to enrich themselves. Every host city spends exorbitant amount, billions, and what they recoup, very few have been able to quantify or prove that they get any benefit from. It's the same thing with the Olympics. Olympics leave whole abandoned villages. I mean, whole stadiums, crumbling stadiums in Brazil that were built for a 4-month period and then now that land is, I don't know, like I can't just describe how, yes, the organizations themselves are corrupt. The whole we had already talked about the ticket prices, but the other piece that I guess why people are balking, it's the United States. People don't want to come to the United States. That's where that's why it's not just that FIFA's gotten too expensive or the hotels have gotten too expensive. People, if the choice is coming to Seattle or going to Canada from Europe, they're going to go to Canada. No one wants to come to that. I mean, that's the piece of it I don't hear the media talking about. All I hear is,
you mean the fans? The fans don't want to come.
The fans don't want to come. I'm hearing it's too expensive. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. And yes, that is our reality in the United States with gas prices and all that. It is too expensive. It has priced locals out of their own city. I don't know anyone in Seattle who's going to FIFA. It's going to be
everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving Manhattan. Anybody leaving New York who can get out of the city is getting out.
Yeah. No.
What if Iran wins the World Cup in the United States
no, but okay. This is so Dana White, who runs Ultimate Fighting, when they started allowing people who use the N-word, their whole excuse was, well, just let them fight it out in the ring. But what if they win? What if the person you're rooting? What if they win? So Iran is now, just got approved. Originally, their base camp was going to be in Arizona, and now it's in Mexico, somewhere in Mexico, but Iran is still, this is wild to me, but also interesting that Iran is still in it. Iran is supposed to play Egypt in Seattle at a pride event. Both countries, it is illegal to be gay. The stadium has made it clear, again, they will rename themselves because of all the FIFA rules, but they are not removing any of the pride branding that is up for the entire month of Seattle, of the We Do Pride Month here. So, I don't know what's, again, that's about 2 weeks away. That's mildly interesting. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen there. We're getting, so we got our stadium district got toilets, which the businesses and bar owners have been begging for years, so people would stop peeing in their alleys. But again, those aren't for the locals; those are for toilets. They'll probably be removed when FIFA is over. We got those kiosks with the Wi-Fi and the screens that you had. You've probably had them for about a decade now. We just got those. Like literally, we just got those. But again, they're not for us locals. They're for tourists. I've yet to see, a person living on shelter who's pulled up the chair and like set up camp. I'm waiting to see that here in Seattle, but I don't think, they don't even know the unintended.
The ones near us on 8th Avenue
They're all
seem to
broken.
be used.
Oh,
Well, they're used by dope dealers.
Yeah.
To call for deliveries.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
stuff.
Our city, they're so new here. Our city hasn't even thought about the unintended consequences of them yet, and they've set them up right in the drug trafficking. It's very interesting. So, and the high vandalization neighborhoods. So, where they have lots of cameras, but with police response time, if someone has disabled it, it's not, the police aren't going to show up in time. I'm sorry, those, but also things like we're getting our beautification, and again, our stadium district is also our historical central district. It's near the Chinatown International District, so it is. And we're getting our crosswalks repainted and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, someone's complaining that $19 million for AstroTurf, but that is an upgrade that our football players, again, I don't really care, but will be able to enjoy beyond the. So I'm trying to see it both ways. I'm trying, not only be mad about it because I'm gonna have, it's gonna be the next 6 weeks of my life. It's gonna be, these are gonna be people riding the transit. These are gonna be it's gonna be everywhere. And again, they're going to be sports fans who are not traditionally the most gay friendly all over town while I'm trying to enjoy my Gay Pride Month. This is our month to shine, and I don't know.
I mean, soccer fan. I'm sorry, but soccer fans are not the most enlightened breed in the world. I think probably anywhere from Australia to Egypt to anywhere else. They are fighting mad, and
yes.
I didn't know it was Egypt versus Iran, but that's really,
yeah.
I don't know what we've got here, but we're gonna steer clear of it if we can.
Absolutely. What are you? Are you up? What are you up to this week?
Actually, we closed out our peace show, and believe it or not, we had 38,000 people. 38,000 people in 6 weeks.
And I'm sorry,
on Friday.
This was all you, because don't you have someone by the door with a clicker?
Yes.
You just this is all recorded old school.
No, we do.
I'm laughing, but I used to do this at Belvedere Castle. This was my job at the So I'm laughing, but yes,
the clicker. There's because we always had a line.
Yeah.
One of the security guys, because we hired extra, of course, stood on the top of the steps. Because as people came out, 6 came out, he'd let 6 in. And so the clicker is pretty accurate, other than the fact that some people did come 2 or 3 times.
Oh, sure, but
But basically on Friday, the gallery closed at 5:30, and that was the last day. And at 4:30, the line was around 5th Avenue down to 78th Street. So we stopped it. I mean, we put it on
Yeah.
social media, and we
Yeah.
went send somebody there to say, "Don't get on the line because
Yeah.
you won't get in."
Had you done
But
a big announce? Yeah. Sorry. Had you
we
done
had
a big announcement? Oh, go ahead.
1,400 people on Friday,
Just on the
the
last
last
day.
day. Yeah, yeah. I had um I had people I've not heard from in 5 years
Yeah.
calling me asking if I could, get them in.
Wow. Oh,
Um,
wow. It was like the yeah,
oh
like
yeah,
Studio
that was
54.
people who were friends of friends of friends.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I mean I
Yeah.
did, but I mean we
Yeah.
no, I mean we anybody who was uh seemed to have any kind of difficulty um standing. I mean people who had
Yeah.
canes or walkers or things, we didn't, because anyway, but it was a big shock. I mean we expected to have a good attendance, but
Sure.
this was
Yeah.
I think overwhelming. And I think that, I mean, I did spend quite a lot of time in the galleries just being able to talk to people who were regular visitors.
Yes.
And I would say that it was part of the success was it was an antidote to the
Yes.
shit in the world,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Beautiful paintings,
Yeah.
intelligent, interesting, colorful, and yeah, and people were of all ages were very strongly uh, attracted, you know, to that.
Yeah.
And I think it was. I mean, to me it was emotionally very heartening to see that many people in New York turn out for a free gallery exhibition.
Absolutely.
They bothered to find out. I mean, we
Right.
did
No,
it. It
sure.
wasn't as if we put banners up. Even I mean,
Okay.
a lot of it was social media, yes,
Sure.
but also word of mouth
Sure.
and word of mouth. Yeah.
But that was my question.
So
Did you?
so
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. Did you do like a big end of like? Did you announce that you were closing it or like?
Well, people knew how long it was going to be on
Okay.
for,
Yeah.
but we did warn them.
Yeah.
We have a Instagram and that kind of thing. We did warn them with the last couple of days. It was the last day. You've got to get here by 4:30, etc. So yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next week will be quieter.
Sure.
That's over. We
Yeah.
sending paintings back,
Yeah.
and no, just doing stuff.
Good. Good.
And you?
Um, I have a protest later today.
Good.
And then going to see a band later tonight. And then a
Great.
protest tomorrow. I am off tomorrow because it's Memorial Day.
Right, right.
And then the rest of my work week is just is regular. We have a group learning thing that I'm hosting, and that's just about like stress and self care and
Oh, good.
so I yeah no those ones are always popular, so I love doing that. No, just a regular week. But just yeah. I mean, and like I said, I mean we're a week away from June, which is I love it. It's Pride Month, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's yeah. So I'm looking
It'll be
forward to all
great.
that. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Have a
Talk to you
great
next
week,
week. Yep. You
Bob.
too.
I love
Bye. I
you.
love you. It thinks we're still alive. Okay. Oh my gosh, it does think we're still alive. He knows he doesn't mean me, and he doesn't mean you. When he says the people, he specifically means